on our new podcast. My name is Samantha Shinder. Everyone knows me as Sammy the Dog Trainer, unless you're one of my skydiving friends, then you know me as Runway, but that's a story for another day if we ever get to it. I'm a PhD student, and I'm also a professional dog trainer. I would like to welcome you to my podcast series on life with dogs. So, I'm a dog trainer. That's what I do day in and day out. So I have a huge repertoire of dog behavioral knowledge to share. But that's not the only reason I decided to start this podcast. I was at Obedience Club the other day with my large, fluffy, affable German Shepherd dog, Woofo. Now, Woofo, being a black, long-coated German Shepherd, looks a bit like a bear. Actually, a lot like a bear. When we were in the Smoky Mountains a few months ago, people asked me how I got a black bear on a leash 17 times. Yep, I counted 17 times. And I have a confession. Sometimes my cute, fluffy bear acts like a huge ass. Yes, there's the dirty truth of it. Even the dog trainer's dog acts out occasionally. It's the pastor's daughter syndrome, I suppose. Now, Now, I was looking around the training floor and watching the other handlers and their dogs at Obedience Club. A lot of them had nice, obedient, plug-and-play dogs. I call them robot dogs. These are dogs who have been pleasantly bred to be obedience machines since at least the Victorian era, if not longer. I was watching them go about their routines in a very prim and proper manner. It looked easy, and it looked boring. Totally boring. Now, Woofo gets up to do his bit. This one was involving a recall across the floor. So I put him in a stay, walked all the way across the room, turned, and I noticed all the ladies in the room holding their breath. It dawned on me at this moment that they were frightened of my dog. Now, he had never done anything to warrant such feelings. He is a gentle giant, but he is a working dog. He is what we call a high-drive dog. So when I called him to come to me, he rocketed across the floor. It was nothing like the easy ambling of the robot dogs. And it scared people. It didn't scare me, though. I knew he was super eager to accomplish his little doggy mission. Now, after this, I looked over and saw a lady with a blue tick coonhound. The dog was sweet and floppy and all the lovely things that go along with being a hound dog. But he was having a lot of trouble learning how to heel. His owner, a younger lady, looked flustered and she looked embarrassed. It was hard to be surrounded by robot dogs and have a real dog. This thought was emphasized when somebody's happy-go-lucky border collie veered off his agility routine, jumped the fence to the other obedience ring, and proceeded to eat everybody else's cookie targets. Now that, I thought to myself, is another real dog. Real dogs are what the rest of us in the actual world own, and they're the vast majority. It is rare to get a robot dog unless you specifically go out searching for a breeder and a certain breed, and then you vet the puppy, carefully selecting them for temperament and genetic propensities and all that. Now, being a huge proponent of adoption and rescue, it goes without saying most of us do not get that luxury. So, I have found in my years of training hundreds of dogs that you have to use real-world methods of dog training if you are not lucky enough to have a robot dog. Now, if you do look out and procure one of these said robot dogs, then the fluffy training methods where you throw cookies at your dog all day long and hope they figure out what you want may work for you. Good on you. The rest of us have real dogs with real issues that need real solutions. Now, being a PhD student, I believe in informing your training methods with research. So, over the years, I have combined what I have seen work in real life with what the research says to do, to create a portfolio of training methods for actual people. Now, in the past couple decades, thankfully, we have gotten away from dominance-based training methods where you squash your dog on the ground and show him who's boss and all that rot. I actually have a blog article about the death of dominance-based training if you're interested in reading more. You can check it out on sammythedogtrainer.com. That's S-A-M-M-Y, thedogtrainer.com. Now, however, from a lot of what I've read on the internet and hear people talking about, there's also the other extreme, where people only want to throw cookies at their dogs all day long and never enforce any rules. That's fine if you have a robot dog. It's not fine if you have a dog that wants to eat people or turn into a velociraptor every time he sees another dog when you're out on a walk. It's not fine if you have spent ages trying to train your dog that way and he or she is still not either understanding what you want or understanding and ignoring what you want. So the compromise is humane underscore, but effective methods. Now I say methods, not method, because every dog is different. Just like your human two-legged children, every dog has its own unique, individual personality and soul. Yes, I believe dogs have souls, and that is also a debate for another time, if we ever get to debating that point, because I am not all that interested in debating religious points of view, and you are not going to change my mind on the issue. So in this podcast series, we are going to talk about training, but we're also going to talk about our lives and celebrate our lives with our real dogs and all the joy and frustration that it entails. Entails? Get it? Pun intended. So, we are almost out of time for this introductory podcast, but I would like to leave you with this one thought or exercise for this week. Everyone is hard on his or her own dog, even the robot dog owners. At some point, everybody breaks down because Fido eats their Louis Vuitton pumps or excavates a hole to China in their backyard. Everyone wishes their dogs would sit quicker, straighter, and with more reliability. Everyone becomes intimately aware of his or her dog's amazing, yet sometimes annoying, idiosyncrasies. That, my friends, is totally normal. So this week, I would urge you to catalog your own dog's unique qualities. Try writing them down. It may surprise you how much lighter you feel once the behaviors are listed on paper. And, most likely, it will help you to laugh a bit at them rather than cry. Because getting to know your dog, for better or for worse, will bring you joy. That's the goal of having a dog in your life. Joy. Now, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more. I think our next podcast may be about barking at the front door. That's always a favorite. Thanks again. I am Sammy the Dog Trainer, and I'm about to go chase around some pooches. Cheers.
Ta-da! And music.